Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you guys are having an awesome day. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Bree and I'm super happy to have you here today. So today's video I thought would be really fun, and now that I'm filming it I'm a little bit scared, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So I've been spending a little bit more time on Twitter and I realized some of my opinions are a little bit different than other people's, and that's awesome because when two people have different opinions it creates awesome conversations. And I just wanted to compile a list of opinions that I think are opposite of a lot of the opinions that I've seen. So I guess we can call this my 5 unpopular developer or technology opinions. So I just want to say, I hope this video is all in good fun and hopefully a little bit of humor, but I really just want to remind new developers that there is no one path to your version of success. So my first one, and this has definitely been a heated debate on the Twitter sphere, is entering the tech industry because you are seeking a well-paying job is completely valid. You are not required to have a passion for tech that is burning with the white-hot intensity of 1,000 suns to enter the technology industry and have a fulfilling career. So one of the biggest arguments that I've seen for this is if you have a passion for technology, that you're going to be a better developer or a better engineer. And I don't think that this is true. I used to play softball and I would say that I had a passion for it. I spent every day after school practicing for 3 or 4 hours, had games on the weekends. For a while, that is what I did. That was my activity, that was my everything. I was not good at softball at all. Looking back at pictures and videos, I don't know how they let me continue to be on the team. I was awful. I had a passion for it and I continued to work at it and I continued to do it. That doesn't mean that I was good at it. So on the flip side, my father is a classically trained chef, and living with him for so many years, of course, I was able to pick up a few things from him. And would I say that I'm good at cooking? Yes. I mean, my husband hasn't complained too much, but is it something that I'm passionate about? No. But does the fact that I am not passionate about cooking and the fact that I don't like it, does that mean that I can't cook? It does not. The two do not correlate. It's no secret that a lot of these careers yield good salaries, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to learn a specific skill that is going to yield a high salary so that you can fund your other passions in life. So my second one is, you do not have to be a full stack developer to excel as a web developer. So many companies tend to hire full stack developers because in theory, full stack developers are more versatile and they can lend experience in different areas as one person. So for instance, some people consider a full stack position to include technologies that are front end, back end, and some DevOps. Now some people consider full stack developers a myth. That's a completely different opinion. But the draw is, why hire 3 different people for those roles if you can get them all in one with a title of full stack developer? So as somebody who was hired into the position that I am now as a full stack developer, I definitely feel like if you are just like learning how to code, it's not something that you have to push yourself for. And that's because I feel like when you are learning how to code and you're trying to teach yourself to be a full stack developer, going from 0 to full stack, you may run into a problem where you are a jack of all but a master of none. And by that I mean you might know like some of the basics of multiple different technologies, but you're not actually an expert in any of the different stacks. In my opinion, it is better to understand, know, and become as well versed as you can in a specific skill set, and then if being full stack is something that you would like to do, add on new technologies as you become more comfortable with other ones. You don't have to learn all of these different technologies at one time just to say that you're a full stack developer. Don't feel pressured to feel like you have to become a full stack developer to get your first job in tech, or that being a full stack developer is going to be what ties you to a promotion. So for my third one, hating a programming language is not a personality, and I am looking at you, JavaScript. I'm pretty sure we all have that point in social media where we're scrolling through and we see a person or we see like a thread or like a topic pop up and we just roll our eyes. For me, I roll my eyes when I get to the JavaScript sucks Twitter. There's nothing wrong with disliking JavaScript. There's nothing wrong with like any specific programming language. However, understand that some people don't have like options when they're developing. Some people work in companies where the app that they're working on has been in place for a very long time, and just because I walk in the door and say I don't like JavaScript, they're not going to change it. Maybe I have more options in personal projects, but even if I wanted to use JavaScript in a personal project, that doesn't make me any less of a developer just because you don't like it. I think the other thing is some developers who say that they hate JavaScript maybe are not using the language with its features as it was intended by the creator. So some things can seem efficient or like bad features if you're not using them correctly. Just a thought. Again, nothing wrong with hating a language or disliking it. However, if I'm going to say I use a certain language and your first response is I can't stand it, next caller. I feel like this one needs to be said because I have spoken to quite a few people who are learning how to code, and their aspirations have nothing to do with these tech giants, and I think that that's amazing. Working at a FANG is not a rite of passage, and it can definitely seem like it when you're scrolling through Twitter or LinkedIn and people have in their bio or their title ex-FANG employee. If working at a tech giant is something that you desire for whatever reason, that's an awesome goal to have. However, there's nothing wrong with coming into the tech space because you want to own your own company or you want to work for smaller businesses. Large corporations aren't for everyone, and there's an environment for everyone to thrive in. And I think sometimes we just have to find an environment that works for us and stick with it. And for this fifth one, I don't think that it's necessarily an unpopular opinion because I'm pretty sure when I say it, a lot of people would agree. But it's the fact that developers are not the most important department in businesses or in companies. As developers, we can feel a lot of pressure. If you're a front-end developer, your work is basically the face of the company, and it's what customers interact with. And many of us are creating unique experiences, solving problems, and sometimes even changing lives. However, I have worked with a fair amount of developers that sort of have a God complex, and I think that the pressure can sort of inflate people's heads at times and make them think that their work is the end-all, be-all for the company that they work for. So as developers, we are important. That's no secret. However, developers are not more important than, let's say, the marketing team that goes out and markets the product so that we can get new customers and retain old ones, because with no customers, there's no product. And developers are also not more important than the customer service team that often takes the grunt of the anger when there are problems with the app. Sometimes, or I would say in most companies, the developers don't necessarily talk to customers. Now, this one definitely hits home because I worked at a software company where I was not a developer. I was in the customer service department, and the customers are one thing. They're different. However, a lot of the developers never wanted to talk to customers, and they never wanted to talk to customers because the product that we were putting out had some problems. And it's easy to hide behind the customer service team and tell them to relay messages back and forth, or, oh, this is just the way that it works, get over it. It's easy to say that when you don't have to directly say that to the customer. Every piece of the company is important, and we need each piece of the company to make sure that it runs smoothly. And I think that the people who understand this the best are freelancers, because they basically have to do every department themselves. So I hope this video didn't make you too angry, and I hope that it made you smile, even if it was just a little bit. I would love to know what your unpopular dev opinions are, so go ahead and leave a comment below. And just because I found like a lot of these when I was on Twitter, go ahead and make sure you follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, and let me know if you liked this kind of video, because it was a lot of fun putting it together. I can't wait to see you all in my next video, so I'll see you then.